Apologies for that, everyone. My computer had a spectacular crash there during that. So we're just got everything back up and running now. Apologies. Zeta, do you want to run through what you've seen while I was trying to scramble to get this back up and running?
Honestly, I was pinging Mac, but there was a whole bunch of yellow flags. There has, as a result, been a whole bunch of penalties come through for that. So we'll run you through everything. It's all good. It wouldn't be one of our streams if it hadn't gone, something hadn't gone spectacularly wrong. So race situation, we have some penalties come through. We have 10 seconds for car 42, causing a collision with car 64 on lap 1, 10 seconds for car 26, poor rejoin lap 1, warning for car 26, poor driving standards lap 1, car 5, 5 seconds for car 784, causing a collision on lap 1, 5 seconds for car 784 for causing a collision with car 42 lap 2. There we go.
Nice.
And everybody can breathe.
Just a couple of penalties. Oh my, that's a big crash. The Aston Martin of Howard and the BMW of Morganella. Oh, he's not gonna be happy with that. He seemed to be excited for this race. They both had a big accident coming out of turn 1/turn 2. I'm not sure. That's sort of like.
I'm just gonna hit the replay button on that for you and go through this.
Yeah.
Oh, it looked like Howard had an issue with. I didn't see the start of it. Howard had an issue with the NSX initially, and was off track, and then Howard was spun and was in the middle of the track, resulting in Morganella kind of being checked up behind behind a Ferrari. The Ferrari dived out the way at the last second, and Morganella kind of had nowhere to go with that one. So that was the issue there.
Yeah, that looked like a big crash. Yeah, I won't be using the replay system because that is what actually caused my PC to just turn into a turn possessed for a couple of minutes. So I will have to refrain from using it. But it's all good. We're back. Let us know if there's any issues with the audio or video. But it should be okay now that we're back live.
It's all good. Like I say, I will try and run through replays of anything that we do see as best as I can. I'm just rejigging some bits and pieces on my screen. There we go. So yeah, anybody, I believe Hayden will have let everybody know who's watching from the shorts. Come and have a look. I think Hayden's live doing some funky stuff with the shorts and the and TikTok. So do go and send him some love, because he's certainly not racing tonight. So I don't know there. But yes, very big apologies for that all going mildly wrong. But it's all good. It all happens occasionally.
Yeah, this is
We have some really good battles. Singh in the Lambo is, I think, possibly picked up a little bit of front end damage on that car, but he's hunting down fast, like there is no tomorrow. And about a second and a half back from that, we have McMillan, Donkerwalk, and Had are all running line astern. Oh my goodness, they are coming through the Degners, full chat, all in each other's wash. So this is going to be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, they're all 2/10 apart at this point, so it's going to be who makes the least mistakes here. As Dunker walked in the BRT car, I finally got his livery synced, so I could actually see it. I had an issue with that for a few races where I wasn't loading the livery, but it's now doing that. So there you go, BRT. We sorted it. But that battle is looking pretty good. Yeah, that Ferrari McMullen is really under fire from them too. He's really eager to try and get on the back of Singh, who's really after that BRT BMW. I have no idea if the Lamborghini is actually any good at Suzuka, but he's making it look pretty good here.
It's not too bad. We've mained it for about the last 18 months, so...
Yeah, as both the BMW and the Lamborghini go wide, just trying to carry as much speed as possible through 130R. That is a corner. It's like the corner at the end of Paul Ricard, where you have to just chuck the car in, but it's very, very easy to go too fast and just send the car wide.
It is a lift and hope for the best, as we see Had is right on the back of Donkerwalk there. Oh, we actually have a livery for Donkerwalk now.
Oh yeah,
Awesome, we
yeah,
actually have a BRT livery for Dunkerwalk.
yeah. That's what I was saying there. I haven't been able to see it for ages, and uh,
Fair enough. But this is three Ferraris all battling it out. So this is going to be um, who's got what in the way of skill and setup. And it looks like Donkerwalk may be the one on the move, desperately trying to get up under the rear wing of McMullen, really putting him under pressure. And I think Had is just there, hanging on to the coattails and trying to profit from anything that does happen. Um, Barbara is 2.2 back, so the more these three fight and slow each other down, the more that's going to bring them into this battle as well.
yeah, singing that Lamborghini is not letting up against Feist in the BRT BMW. He's not getting any closer, but he's not getting any further away either. He's still about half a second back or so.
Yeah, that
Just
car doesn't. It looks like it's picked up a little bit of front end damage. As 74 is off. Which car?
oh,
74. Oh, you
Meechin.
have RTG'd. What happened to you?
Yeah,
Uh,
I will not be showing it, but Zeta can give us some amazing commentary on what's happened.
just running into the first corner, goes through that nicely, runs the curve as normal halfway through, gets the second apex. Oh, Porsche does Porsche things and decides it's going to become a pendulum. The back end just trying to come around and say hello, and that was a big hit to the wall. So
Yes,
they're RTG'd. We'll see if they are able to carry back on after all of this.
yeah, as you see, Pokemon Monday has actually fixed his Mustang by the looks of it after that incident on lap 1, but he still has to take his actual mandatory pit stop. So I'm not sure what's happened there. If he just wanted to fix the damage and carry on, and he's maybe taking tires later on. I'm not too sure what the
There's no requirement to take tyres. It is simply just fuel.
that.
As I think race control's having a funny 5 minutes with a few things. Pokemundi, half second back there and
Oh,
doing pretty well.
as Dunker
Uh,
Walker's actually got past McMullen in the first sector, which is very impressive. That is hard to do, other than the first corner. Oh, and Had and McMullen are going at it side by side, coming up around the end of sector 1, but McMullen just holds on, coming up towards the Degnus.
Pokemundi just ran properly deep into the last chicane and ended up having to use the escape road to get back on the track. So that's dropped him out of the that fight uh, there.
Yeah, I was looking back on as Doggerwalk is starting to pull away a little bit from McMullen. He's about point 0.8 away, so he's clearly got the pace in that Ferrari tonight. As Faze in the BRT BMW has actually pulled 1.2 seconds to Sing now, that BMW starting to fire into life a little bit more for him.
Indeed. McMullen does have Sing for company, and I think that might be what's allowing Donkerwalk to just start to get away a little bit. Is Sing is his Had is just really hassling the back of McMullen there.
Oh,
As they come into 130. Oh, who's got the bravery pills? Both of them is holding that nicely and managing to stay there.
he's going
Goes
to.
for a move. Had goes for a move up the inside into the last chicane. Can he make it stick? Side by side into the last corner. It looks like Had's got the drive. McMullen had a little bit of a twitch on the mid corner, and that has let Had pass. And that is, given the length of this straight, it looks like McMullen is trying to go. He's had the toe, tries to get the overlap going into turn 1, but is stuck on the outside.
That's a brilliant move from Had there. And good job playing it defensively to hold it as well going into turn 1 as Patrick in the Honda NSX is down P15, has Afayette for company in the Ferrari, about half a second back. I'm wondering I personally wouldn't pick the Honda NSX at the moment. It's been nerfed into the ground. As we can see, Afayette is just catching him. He's about 2 tenths back now, coming through the S's.
It's not too bad. It gets a pretty big weight break, courtesy of the LFM BOP.
Yep.
So it should make it significantly more competitive. We were having a look at through that, possibly to do some racing ourselves with the car. And yeah, it loses. I think the minimum it loses about. Oh, that was a big slide. Second of the Degners just chucks it in a little bit too hot, and the rear says no thank you and doesn't stick.
Oh, that's unfortunate for him. Uh, he is getting moving again though. That is good to see.
Managed to keep it out the barrier. It was a little bit tricky because it was almost under the bridge.
Oh, Had has had a mistake as well, coming in through Spoon.
Let's
Uh,
have a quick run
and,
back. Goes through soon. One of the cars, I'm not sure who that is behind, has gets it tight on the curb in the back end. Again, this track proving just how slick it is in places, and just gets the rear end, gets the front end hooked on the curb, and the rear end comes around and tries to say hello.
oh, as George Stevens in the Porsche, just driving past Liss through Spoon. That was a very nice move down the inside there, as Liss runs a little bit too wide. Just gives him the space. Up into P19 now.
Yes, good
Uh,
evening, Casper. Excuse me. Um, yeah, had a horrible rejoin. That sucks. What car number were you? I can't remember.
he's down in last currently in the 66 Ferrari.
That was it. Car 66. I don't think I've seen you have a penalty for that one.
Yeah, he's done his mandatory pit stop at least, so I'm assuming he's got enough fuel for the end. So
Yeah.
hoping that he can pick up a few cars. As we
Crikey,
see,
we're 38 minutes into this. 38 minutes to go already. We've had more than 20 minutes of this race gone. That's
yeah,
flown by.
as Patrick in the NSX is actually in the pits. Early pit stop coming out from him. As we see, Feist is coming under attack. From Singh in the Lamborghini, and Dunkerwalk, actually his teammate, not far behind as well. So Singh is in a little bit of a BRT sandwich at the moment.
Uh, just seeing what happened to Liss. Goes to the first corner, tries to chuck it, goes in a little bit deep, tries to chuck it in with a bit too much speed.
Ooh,
Just about misses Morganella. Ooh, that was cigarette paper stuff right there.
oh, at least he missed him. Yeah, that's what
That
we.
would have been a big hit if he had tagged the back of Morganella.
Yeah, as McMullen now he seems to just be bleeding time as Boubert. Sorry if I butchered that. I very much apologize. Is right up the back of him coming into 130R. I believe he was a couple of seconds behind not too long ago, but he's catching him.
No, he's been flying up the field. As others have had issues, has been chewing his way up through the field.
Yeah,
Afia is right on the back of Vandenbroek. Vandenbroek in the BRT BMW now, and actually challenging quite hard.
oh, as he
As
runs
Vandenbroek
wide.
goes deep and ends up running wide on the second half of the chicane. Um, Stewards might have a look at that one. They've definitely come out of that corner with a bigger gap than they went into it.
Yeah, that's going to be just a little look to see what's happened there. As Gotam, sorry, I probably butchered that, has got another McLaren for company in Holtzman. Is just right tucked up behind him, going into 130R. Takes a lot of curb and grass there on the inside, but manages to hold it okay. Is holding about 0.8 behind him now. Good stuff from the McLaren. Oh, he's getting a bit twitchy out of the last corner. That McLaren of Holtzman's going to be looking to capitalise on that. He's got a little bit of aero damage though on the side of him there, so I'm not sure if that's going to be hindering his race at all.
Side damage on these cars, it doesn't really matter too much what it is. Sides aren't as big of a deal as Stevens is. Car 100 in that Porsche is right up behind
Oh,
uh,
the Ferrari goes wide and hit.
Hasler? Oh, that's a cool name. Haven't seen that one for a while. Hasler runs wide in that Ferrari and lets Stevens by there quite nicely.
Yeah, and
Was it Hasler? No, it was Coltrini.
Coltrini, yeah. I was about to say there's a BMW for company, but that is the BMW of Morganella, who is unfortunately now a lap down, I think.
Probably is. Has made official pit stop, but did take a huge chunk of damage early on. So
Yeah,
is on a bit of a recovery drive in the AM category there to try and unlap and get through. So,
Yeah,
that's
as the
quite a long way to go. It's got to get past Barbara on car 12 is in 12th with that Ferrari. So, quite a lot of cars to get past to one lap, but definitely going to be giving it a go.
yeah, as the BRT sandwich continues with Fies through the Dunkerwalk and Singe is in the middle of it. The gap isn't really going up or down. They're holding about between 3 and 5 tenths to each other, but Fies goes a little bit deep into the grass. That might let both these cars a bit closer to him. Oh,
Ooh, Coco! That was a dodgy rejoin and a half. I'm gonna
oh,
go back and see what that was. Ends up running across the grass into the pit lane. Comes through the last chicane into the last corner. I think this is just the usual. Yeah, it gets loose across the end of the curb, smacks the barrier on the outside properly hard, and then tries to drive across the track and gets the rears lit up and causes Stevens to have to take a bit of avoiding action there
oh,
to
oh!
get
As
past.
Singe in the Lamborghini has spun at the hairpin. Oh, that's not a particularly nice rejoin either. Oh, as there's 3 Ferraris battling position, he's just got in the middle of. Oh, and he's touching the grass out wide as well. I wonder how much damage is on that Lamborghini now because of that. Oh, at least he didn't interfere seemingly too much with that Ferrari battle. He didn't actually hit anyone, which is a bonus.
Yeah, but that
Uh,
has dropped Singh right back and has released Dunkwalk and Fass to go after Jar there in the Aston Martin.
which has got
There is a fairly big gap. There's about 6 seconds. I can only assume Dunkwalk had to take a bit of avoiding action in there because he is now 2 seconds back from Fass. But this
oh, as fast as just spun into the pit lane? What happened there? I just turned, spun, he was going sideways through the pit lane. Oh
let's do a
my.
quick replay and see what happens there.
Oh,
Goes for the pit lane, hits. Oh, that was huge.
oh
Hits the
my.
grass on the way in on the outside of the pit entrance. Gets it sideways, doesn't get it recovered, and smacks the barrier on the end of the pit wall.
Oh my.
And then smashes into the wall on the other side of the pit lane entrance. So
I,
that's going to be in the pits for a while because that's a lot of damage.
I was just about to say the 2 BRTs are running 8th and 9th. We're running a very nice race. As we look back in this, there's another 3-way Ferrari battle, including McMullen and Had once again. With Sainz and the Lamborghini right hot on their tail as well. There mustn't be too much damage to that Lamborghini as he's still able to keep up with them pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's just had a little bit of a nibble. So I think may have just run into the back of somebody at the
Yeah,
start. But nothing major, so I don't think there's any issues. Too
yeah,
much for that car?
yeah, as there's these 4 cars are separated by less than a second.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
about 3/4 of a second.
Oh, as Bobert gets in the inside but can't quite make that stick on McMullen as he went a little bit deep through the hairpin there. But that RVR Ferrari is hot on the tail. Oh, he might be taking the inside at Spoon. Nope, again, backs out of it
No, not
wisely.
quite close enough. This is going to be who can do what. As goes for a move, doesn't goes in a little bit hot, gets the back end loose, and that has put Had on the back of Bambara there.
Oh, and don't count out singing the Lamborghini either. He's so close to that rear bumper.
66 is having issues. Olsen, yellow flag, didn't see what happened. Was this all on your own that you had issues? It looks like Fass is out of the pit lane as well now.
Oh, that Ferrari is sliding all over the place.
Gets a little wiggle on, and then runs wide and is a passenger. Wonderful, coming out of the S's at the start of the lap.
Yeah,
Through that long left-hander.
yeah. The
Gets the rear
S's.
tyres on the curb and just eats the barrier.
Yeah, the S's and especially that long left-hander that we're seeing at the moment is a very tricky bit of track.
It's horror. It's an opening radius, and that car just snapped. I was still watching that car, and it just going on the brakes. Something's not right with that car. It just violently snapped right.
Ooh.
and just speared off into the barrier. So I don't know what happened there at all.
I see a few cars are now pitting. I see Singed in the Lamborghini. George Stevens in the Porsche, Coltrane and the Ferrari are all in the pits now. As I would expect most pit stops to be coming out around now. The halfway mark would make sense. So you're running similar fuel loads for both stints.
Yeah, there is no minimum time. Definitely those that have been having a bit of a slide, as 64 has an off-track moment there. Does
Yeah,
kind of okay to get back on the track as one of the Ferraris comes up the inside. That was car 12, who is well up the grid.
he
So
was in
that
the
was
battle with
June.
McMullen and Had. I wonder what's happened to him. I don't see any damage particularly on that car.
Car 12.
He must have had a
Has car 12
spin.
made a pit stop? Yeah, has
Oh
made a
yes,
pit
he,
stop.
he made his pit stop. Okay.
So, there it is. I'm being completely blind on race control for a second there.
Yeah, I see Bartek Radziwiz, sorry, I'm butchering that, is in the pits as well from P5. One of the first runners to pit. As McMullen cannot shake hand in that Ferrari, he's sticking well to the back of him. Has been for quite a while.
It is a properly tough track to try and pass here. You can get up behind, although this looks like a bit of an opportunity now as McMullen runs wide, has got it up the inside, through there, chops the nose off, but gets away with it into the start of the S's properly. And was the opportunity he had needed to get through there.
Excellent move there. Very well done through the first sector there by Had. Getting that position. As we look to see.
It looks like Coltrane has picked up a stop go 30. I'm assuming he's speeding in the pit lane.
He was in the pits a moment ago, so that would make sense. As we see, BRT's BMW of Vanderbroek is on the tail of Gutam in the McLaren. He's only about half a second back, looking to make that up. But I think, is that a front runner behind him? I think they've been blue flagged.
That is
That's
Fernando in the McLaren. Well,
yes.
you've been very quiet this race.
He is
Is third
P3.
place, four and a
Yeah,
half seconds back from Smith,
yeah.
who in turn is 3 or so seconds back. So yeah, he's losing a little bit of time with this battle. It's not an easy place to overtake, let alone overtake back markers. Um, as
Uh,
Fernando is being very smooth and very timely with their overtakes. Although has this opened the Vandenberg battle up? Not that was the
ooh,
Ferrari getting past, I think, on sorry, the McLaren getting past Vandenbroek there as... No, sorry, it was that way around. I'm being completely useless there.
yeah.
Ignore me, but it has closed the gap. The McLaren ran wide. Oh, they
Oh, they
touch!
touch.
Ooh, touch going into the first of the Degners. That was a bad place to have it.
The
Make
the,
contact with
the
somebody, especially that small of a contact on the back corner.
yeah.
And that has
This
put the McLaren round and off to the side of the track.
this track is hard to overtake on, but the one place you do not try and overtake is Diagonal 1. That corner is not wide enough, really, for two cars to go side by side. Uh,
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure it's wide enough for one car,
half the time,
especially on the exit.
yeah, half the time it's not. As we
Stevens now with Magorski for company in that NSX, so that car not having a great time. Looks like Magorski's got past Stevens and is trying to drive away a little bit there.
yeah, I'm wondering whether the Porsche is starting to struggle with those rear tires.
Quite possibly. It might also be starting to struggle with the front end if it's getting quite light on fuel as well.
Yeah, that is true. He has made his pit stop, Stevens, so maybe just trying to conserve the tires a little bit until near the end.
And also possibly just trying to possibly have a setup that runs a bit better with low fuel than does with high fuel. So if it has taken a bit more fuel, Honestly, with a setup like this, I would be inclined just to nurse the tyres as best you can,
Yeah,
and then just take like a litre of fuel and just have as little time in the pits as possible.
yeah.
As we see Radwich right on the back of Bambara RVR there for the last position in top 10. This battle over 10th place as we see 27 having an off track moment as well.
Oh, having a
Um,
big spin at the last chicane. That is
yeah, I
hard.
think trying to recover and the grass being the grass in this game is having a very, very unpleasant time. As that looks like Bradwich just got past Bambara, got a wonderful drive through spoon, tucked it in up the inside, and gave Bambara nowhere to go. As we see car 49 having issues up at the hairpin, that is Coco. What happened to you? Oh, you're already off track, coming through the Degners. The second through the middle of the Degners. Um, that chrome purple looks amazing.
It does.
Gets on the curb, gets the car bounced, and just is a passenger after that on the brakes.
Oh,
It's a
oh, there's
ooh,
been a big contact. Guatem and Stevens were side by side coming down towards Spoon, and there was contact, and Stevens has ended up on the grass and lost a second and a half there. Oh, that
ooh.
might be a little bit of a steward's inquiry there happening over that.
That
Not,
was a bit of a hip and shoulder on Stevens there.
yeah, not sure if that was in just a racing incident or if it was intentional. We'll leave that to the stewards to decide.
It's an interesting one. If your car starts to run across, run wide there, it can be quite easy to lose, to try and chase it. And if there's somebody on the outside, they might end up as a bit of a passenger. Having
Uh,
said that, he's straight back on the tail of Gotham in that McLaren.
yeah, as we see, a stop go 30 picked up for Tr- Travsky. Sorry, I'm butchering that, and I greatly apologize in the McLaren.
As Stevens gets a fantastic drive at the last corner, gets the slipstream, and drives past around the outside of Gartem there and puts themselves up a place into 19th now. Gartem has 20 seconds worth of penalty and still has to make their pit stop, so that is one heck of a chunk of track position that they are going to lose in this. Still to
Absolutely.
make a pit stop is Holtzman in car 65, and we have Afia,
Afayat,
Afia,
yeah. As
and McMullen. McMullen's just jumped into the pits. Donkerwalk, Van Niemen, and Smith, Fernando, and Tempest are all still due to make their pit stops.
yeah, only a handful of them left. I imagine they'll be taking that pit stop very soon.
Indeed, Donkerwalk has a 5-second penalty, as does Ariafat. Ariaf.
I think
I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with that name.
I've been saying as Afayat. I don't know if that's right. And again, I apologize if it's not.
It sounds vaguely sensible, so Afayat. We'll go with that, and please feel free to correct us in comments.
Um, yeah, let's see what else is happening on track. Oh, as Faiz in the BRT has got past McMullen, but McMullen was in the pits, so that is expected as he's got Samuel Gier for company in that Rebellion Autosport Aston Martin. He'll be looking to get past. He's running a brilliant race. He was in, I think, 7th for most of the first stint, so he'll be eager to make that up, especially with a few people still to pit. Oh, as he gets an amazing drive out of that corner, side by side, heading up towards the Dagnas. Looks like he's got that move done by the looks of it. Brilliant drive out of that corner there, up around the long left-hander. Through down to 1 and 2 is clear there. What a move. As we see Holtzman in the pits as well now.
Yep, Holtzman I think had a bit of an issue trying to get down into the pit lane, and had an error there. We see Liss was having all sorts of issues and not having a fun time at all. I don't know where you're going, but you're bailing for the pits. I'm assuming you have had a torrid time out on track and is desperately trying to get to the pits to pick up some repairs.
Yeah,
No, you have made your pit stop, so this is an unscheduled Pit stop, so I'm assuming that is damage related.
Yeah, as
Uh,
McMullen has sing for company once again, but there's a bit of damage in the front of that Lamborghini.
he's had that, I think, since the start, unless it's picked up a bit more.
It looks a bit more prominent now.
Oh, yes, it does. It very much does.
I wonder what's happened there as he runs wide at a 130R.
Yeah, that's not going to be having a particularly nice time. That Lambo likes its front end aero. It doesn't have a huge amount, but it very much likes to use it.
Absolutely. As we have a look, some of the last pit stops will be coming through as well.
Dunkirk? Has Dunkirk just pitted? Yes,
He has
Dunkirk
done.
has now pitted, so he's dropped down into 7th coming out the pits. Has the back marker of Morganella there in the VRA, VM Tech Racing BMW.
Yeah,
Afayat still to pit, and the top 3 are all still to pit as well, so that's that. Vandenbroek has also picked up 5 seconds. Gertham has picked up 5 seconds as well, having I'm assuming that was an existing penalty, having just served their stop go 30, so that car having a very unfortunate time. We're down to 28 cars now. We started with 33, so few people have disconnected during this one, so I don't know whether that's intentional or not.
oh, as the top 10 spot is now under contention as Samuel Gier is up the back of Face in the BRT BMW. Was almost side by side coming through the hairpin there. So I expect this to keep going as Cinch has actually got past McMullen as well in the
Uh,
Lamborghini.
yeah, I was about to mention McMullen. McMullen playing fast and loose and has ended up picking up drive-through penalty for track limits.
Oh,
Car 64, that's not a good place to be off track. That's... Oh, you are having a horrible time. I want to go and give you a hug. You are having a bad time, Trotsky. In that McLaren, you have ended up on the inside of 130 yard as we see Singh arriving sideways into shot there through 130 yard. Did not see what happened there, but that was a spectacular entrance. I'm assuming tagged the curb on the way through and just got the car sideways. Let's have a quick replay and see what happens there as to causing you to end up where you were.
yeah, as McMullen, I'm assuming is now serving his drive-through, just getting it out of the way, which is
Oh, it hits the curb on the inside. The car bucks and bounces and is just a passenger. Does well to only end up with a half spin and having to rejoin. But yeah, that was an impressive way of entering shot. I'm not gonna lie.
entertaining the fans as always. We love to see it. As we see the battle for P10 still well underway, as Samuel lost a couple of tenths, but nothing too serious. Still in that second margin. As Pfizer BRT seems to have some front end damage.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Let's have
he
a quick
does. He
look.
has a little bit there. I can see some scuffs on his front bumper, so he will have a little bit of damage. Oh, as we see, Gier's
He's
going.
got a good that car's been in the wars. It's got some scuffs all down the sides and a bunch across the back as well. So whatever's happened there, it's been in the wars.
And he's holding on to top 10, which is fair play to him. He's doing well with some damage on his car.
Yeah.
As only 3 drivers now still to pit, Afayette in P6, and the top 2 of Tempest and Smith are yet to pit. As I've just noted, I don't know if this is because of the, I'm assuming it's because of the pit stops, but Tempest and Smith are nearly a minute clear of Fernando in P3.
I'm assuming that's because of pit stops. Because Fernando was behind both of them, running in 3rd place, and hasn't lost any places out of that.
Yeah.
Having pitted as well. So, yeah, just the top 2 and then Afayette to make their pit stops.
It looks like the top 2 might be going for the high fuel load splash and dash approach of take a couple of liters at the end just to serve the mandatory stop.
I think it might be, given that we're now 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. As a bite marker has just a bite marker has touched Gier's Aston Martin, but thankfully nobody has spun there. That was Just a little bit
I
of...
believe we're looking at the colour of that one because I recognise it. That is Holtzman.
Yeah.
Down in 22nd. Yes, it is. He is doing the best to try and make the car disappear. It's a horrible feeling when you got loads of faster cars coming past you. It's like, I can't make my car disappear. Leave me
Oh.
alone.
Oh, as Vice he's getting a little bit squirrely under that BMW. Not quite sure if the damage is and subsequent tire wear as well as maybe starting to play an effect on how the car's handling. As we see Jerez right on the tail of him at the end of the Dagnas, coming up towards the hairpin. That Aston Martin will be eager to make a move as he's been stuck behind it for a little while. Gets a good run out of the hairpin as well, stuck about 3/10 behind him, so he's just waiting to pounce there on face and hope and might do very soon.
Indeed. Hello, Mr. Macy from chat. Good to see you out there. Good to see you tonight. You're not racing, are you? You were racing last night, but you're not racing tonight. Fair enough.
No,
Hope you're enjoying the stream.
We'd love to see it.
Again, anybody that is watching, do like, subscribe, share, etc. It's all very, very helpful. Does makes us feel warm and fuzzy. We like feeling warm and fuzzy.
Of course. Love to see it. As Jer's stuck to the back of that, as Singe seems to have Hobson for company catching up. That Lamborghini's been caught by the Mustang for P12.
Indeed. I don't think that Lambo is having a particularly fun time of it.
No.
After all, it's sliding around. That car's going to be struggling with its tyres. It's going to have seriously overheated, possibly even flat spotted them. So that's going to be a big chunk of problems. Oh my goodness! I'm trying to work out where it was I last looked at the penalties, and it has gone absolutely mental.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but Jer's got a move. Is making a move into Dagna 1. Oh, his Synfire is a little bit wide, but he's made the move through Dagna 1 and 2. That was brave. As Vice's BMW is sliding all over the place. Just cannot seem to get the power down at the moment in that car.
I'm wondering if that car hasn't changed tyres.
Oh, as he's tapped the back end of Samuel Ger, but he's not taking the place back. He's just let him drive off. Fair racing from the BRT man there.
As we see, Magwalski has McMullen for company. Is very much hassling the back of McMullen. Now that Honda on the Ferrari there. As the Ferrari runs wide, going through the first of the two Degnas, that gives the Honda a chance to catch up. Gets a little bit loose on the way out. My camera does something funky as somebody goes over the bridge, but it looks all clear for now as that Honda closes up so much on the brakes.
Oh, gets caught on the curb there. Just
hooked it a little bit. Tried to get underneath the Ferrari, but couldn't manage it. Hooks up on the curb, but is right into the slipstream of that Ferrari, and that's going to be helping it along the straight quite nicely. Anything can do.
As Samuel Ger's in the wall at the last corner. I'm not sure what's happened there. I don't see a lot of damage to his car.
Let's do a quick replay on that one because that was a big battle between Fass and Ger there. Coming through 130R. Cleanly into the last chicane. Oh no, Ger just gets on the gas and the back end starts to come around, keeps it out of the barrier. But yeah, just had the back end get loose on the way out of that corner.
Oh, unfortunate. He was having a great little battle there with Feist for BRT there. That was nice to watch. That's unfortunate. He's had a bit of a spin, but he's a quick driver. I'm sure he'll be eager to try and make it back up, although I don't know if he'll have the time to catch 14 seconds. But I mean, a tall order, but you never know.
Anything is possible. Anything can happen, and it usually does.
Absolutely, as Boubert. Sorry, I'm very bad with names. has Donkerwalk for company for P8. The two Ferraris going at it there. Romain Bobor for RVR is running a great little race. Who's leading his class, which is very nice to see.
Indeed, as Magwalski is right up on the back of McMullen, and Stevens is right on the tail in what looks like a properly beaten up. That Porsche is looking properly worse for wear.
That
But the is right on the tail of Vandenbroek there in the BRT BMW, as gets a bit loose on the way out. Has Stevens got the drive? No, not quite. Who's best on the brakes? Goes deep, goes tight, sticks Vandenbroek out wide, and that Porsche's got the drive on the exit, and the BMW is left standing.
well,
Very nicely done.
very nicely done indeed. As McMullen and I'm sorry, I'm not really able to pronounce that. Patrick and the Honda NSX are still going at it. 2 tenths back, refuses to shake him. As we also look on further up the field, Boubert has Dunkerwalk very close for company now, only a couple of tenths back. Really reeling them in as Singed and Hobson. Oh, that's a big crash!
What happened there? I looked
Oh,
briefly at the screen, away from the screen, and it.
Hobson and Singed went into turn 1 and 2, just doesn't go into 1. It looks like that might have been on the
Oh, the
fault.
Ford just carries a bit more pace across the apex than that Lambo, and the Ford just runs into the back of them.
I think
That's
that's.
gonna be one for the stewards to look at, but I feel like that might be not in favour of Hobson.
Yeah,
Uh,
that Lamborghini, I think that's his day ruined. The wing is not straight and he cannot get grip on that rear end.
McMullen has been passed by Magwalski there. I didn't see entirely what happened, but that Ferrari looking a little loose now. I'm wondering if a lot of these cars were coming down into the last 8 minutes and change of this race. I'm wondering if some of these cars that we're seeing struggling didn't take tyres and they have been pushing them properly hard. So unlike what you might see with a multi-stint race, they're going to have basically been running sprint laps as fast as they can on these tyres, and that starts to get a bit of a tall order when you're running for an hour on the same set of tyres. As Magwalski is now on the tail of Singe, but Singe just doesn't have an answer with how much damage that Lambo's now got. As just going
Oh, as he spun he spun the Lamborghini. Oh no 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 no!
he spun it all on his
Oh.
own with nowhere. Just lost the back end. There was clearly not enough grip on the back of that car, and he just lost it.
He nearly
And
collected
he
the
did.
yeah, he nearly collected that McLaren there. Apologies for the strange noises coming out of my mouth.
Fine, you weren't the only one.
I thought he was going to collect that McLaren there. No, I wasn't. That wouldn't have been good. Um, Having a little look around the field. Yeah, Singe is in the pits. He's RTG'd, so that's his race over, unfortunately.
Donkerwalk has dropped back from Bamber a little bit. We still haven't seen these last three cars through the pits. I very much think they are going for the, if in doubt, put like 2 laps worth of fuel in the car and hope for literally like 2 litres of fuel in the car.
Yeah,
Maybe a lap's worth of fuel just to get you through.
You would have
on
to
this
assume
one.
that at this point because it's too late to do a proper pit stop. So
That's a properly long stint for those two.
Oh, my camera's doing some funny things. Ignore
It
that.
does if you're going under the bridge. If somebody goes under or over the bridge, it gets a bit confused.
Yeah,
Um,
as Dunkerwalk is still on the back of Bobor in the RVR Ferrari, but Dunkerwalk doesn't seem to have quite the pace to get him, holding him about a second.
Indeed, with all of these pit stops, the only one that is going to get a chance to serve their penalty before the pit stop, before the end of the race, it's added at the end of the race time, is going to be Afayat in the Ferrari, who has 5 seconds. They're the only one that's going to have a chance to take that pit stop, but they're only 17 and 18 seconds or so ahead of the next car of Radwitz, so that might be a change that happens through the pit stop cycle. Might be okay back to Barbara, but might end up in the middle of this Barbara Donkerwalk battle as and when they do make their pit stop.
Yeah, as we just take a, I mean, we've ignored them all race, but the leaders have been just on a class of their own at the moment. Tempest in the McLaren just driving a stellar race, and Smith behind him in P2 in that really, really nice Mustang livery. Just miles apart from the field at the moment. Granted, they still do the pit stop, and that brings Fernando back into the mix in P3, who again has been running a fantastic race.
Holtzman just having a bit of off-track time.
Yeah, as McMullen
Gets back up and
has.
going. Stevens is now right on the tail of McMullen.
Yeah, with that war, that Porsche has definitely been through the wars.
It has. I'm trying to work out whether that was a battle that happened earlier. No, it was Vandenbroek, wasn't it? So Stevens has closed that gap up. That Ferrari, that Porsche, irrespective of how much damage it looks like it's got, is absolutely flying.
I wonder if Stevens
So
took tires so that he, because as we know, the Porsche after an hour driving the same tires will not have any rear grip left.
indeed, I was wondering. Also, I think if as the car's been set up to, I think, run better on low fuel with 4 minutes left, so there's not going to be a huge amount left in the front of that car. So it's going to have plenty. If the car's been set up to work with that, it'll be a handful to drive because it'll be a little bit almost too oversteery to start with. But as it burns through its fuel, the front end lifts up.
Oh, look at this!
And it's clearly made a wonderful job with that, and has got up the inside of McMullen there. McMullen tries to fight back, but doesn't have any answer for the drive on that Porsche.
Yeah, Stevens just drove away. McMullen looked like he made a minor error there on the hairpin and just hadn't the speed to match Stevens there out of it. As we look
Indeed.
on Hobson, who is P12 now, has had for company only a couple of tenths back. As we see, there's only a couple of laps left. As Smith is doing his pit stop, go for that.
Smith is in the pits.
Let's.
So this is.
He's doing it.
Smith is in the pits. I will jump onto Fernando and see where there he is. Let me know when they are moving. Fernando is just coming up to 130R now.
He is moving.
He's
Smith.
moving. That is going to be staying in second.
Yeah, which means Tempest is the last car to pit other than Lafayette, which means they both have to pit this lap, because after this, I believe that they don't have time for another lap.
No, they have to pit this lap. At the end of this lap, they must pit, otherwise they are going to be in trouble. Car 5 is in the pits. That's one of the cars that has boxed and I think just parked it for the race. That is Singe. Yeah, Singe who's just parked it.
Yeah.
I think.
Let me see. So
Yeah,
where
so
is Tempest?
It looks, they've got 20-something seconds on. Sorry, 6.5 seconds. Back to Carney in the other McLaren there.
Yes.
But they're 21 seconds back from the Ford.
Yeah, as it looks to be, there. Smith done the splash and dash. He was stopped for 8 seconds, and his whole pit time was 40 seconds. So Tempest has at least 10 seconds to play with here on the pit stop. As Weiss has Samuel Gier once again for company. I'm sure the BRT man was glad to be rid of him, but not anymore. As the drive in that Aston Martin just drives straight past him. But they both go wide at 130R, heading towards the final chicane, as this will be the last lap of the race, starting momentarily, as Tempest is the leader. Once he crosses the line, starts the last lap, as he is in the pits.
Smith is coming through Spoon, so I think this should be all clear again.
Yeah.
So unless there's some issues that we haven't seen for Tempest, they should come out all clear.
Yeah.
And they're moving again. Have they served? No, they've just stopped. So
yeah,
Tempest is coming through the 130R now.
Yeah, and he's moving again already. He was only stopped for 5 seconds.
Yeah, so that is just the bare minimum in fuel for these two cars.
Oh, hang on.
Evidently, the two of them managing to make their tyres survive. They've not been in a huge number of battles, so... as car 6 is evidently having some connection issues by the looks of things.
Yeah,
out of the pit,
as Lafayette still hasn't pitted, he has to pit now, otherwise he will
Uh,
get. The stewards will probably slap him with a gigantic penalty. I'm not sure what the penalty is for not serving
it
your
will
pit
be an
stop.
automatic penalty based on what is required, so it will be at least a drive-through penalty, which is
And
normally about 30 to 40 seconds.
yeah, I think a drive through not served as a stop go 30, is it, or is it just straight 30 seconds? Not.
I know when it's full service, it's 130 seconds.
Oh, as Canny is in the
They
pits.
go to the pits now.
Canny's in the pits. He had a drive through to serve. He
Ooh,
must he
who
must
was
have
that?
Canny in P5. He must have just picked up as Lafayette is in the pits now to serve his stop.
Oh,
Uh,
that's big, because that's going to drop Canny a long way down.
yeah, as we see, Radwitz is coming round the final corner now. He's going to overtake both of them. That's gifted him 2 positions.
Indeed, Radwitz does have oh no, Carney is out and rolling, so that is, I think, yeah, Carney is fine. So, Radwitz does have 5 seconds, but is well clear by about 12 seconds or so to Barbara. So that isn't, as long as there's no mistakes from Radwitz, that 5 seconds is not going to make any difference to their overall result.
Yeah, as we see our leader now coming through 130R for the final time of the race. 15-second gap to Smith in P2, just in a class of his own here, coming round the final
Hobson
chicane.
Sorry, Hobson makes a big mistake just in front of those cars, and has dropped well down the order, and is down into 13th now, and will be just starting their final lap now.
Yeah,
As the leader goes through.
the leader has just finished the race and he finishes P1. What an excellent drive from him.
Last few battles on the track, Donkhawk and Bambra. Donkhawk is going to be able to draw a very accurate description of that livery. That
Absolutely.
Ferrari.
Oh,
That's
he sent it.
connections.
Yeah, as he's letting him.
Lets them get moving.
Yeah,
That was a do or die move into the hairpin on the last lap of the race for them.
yeah, he had
Um,
half a lap to make a move and didn't quite work for him.
it
But
didn't quite work. Honestly, it was probably there or the last chicane is about the only two places you can really do it.
yeah,
You might get something into spoon, but it's dicey doing that.
yeah,
And you're never going to make anything stick through 130R.
yeah, absolutely. As that is the top three now finished. Smith and Fernando have rounded out our top three, and Van Niemen is rounded out the top four. As Canny is about to come over the pits now for 5th place. That's it. Now everyone's just finishing their final lap.
Jar hasn't finished, but he is almost on the tail. Not going to be able to, not close enough to make anything happen there.
Yeah. Coming round 130R, the pair of them, that's Lafayette, who pit at the very, very last moment he possibly could, is going to get a top 10 finish, assuming nothing happens in this final chicane, and you would imagine it wouldn't.
Yeah, it's easier said than done with this track.
In before I curse him somehow. But no, it looks all good for him, and he's going to come home P9, and Samuel Gier in the Rebellion Autosport is going to round out the top 10. Excellent race.
Wonderful.
As the last few cars are coming across the line, it's just Had and Hobson to go.
Yep. Hobson will be the very last car to finish, as we're just in front of the leaders.
Yep.
At the end of that, and crosses the line now.
There we go. That is everyone. What a race. Full of
Indeed.
carnage and technical issues, which is always fun.
Indeed. Well,
Excellent.
that was wonderful.
Indeed. What a race. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm sure everyone else did. I believe we're doing...
Evening Pokemon Day, 4th in class, let's go. After a spin on lap 1, 11 seconds of damage, still very good. Still now, first podium for me though, sir. Still no first podium, and thank you for have it saying great commentary. Apologies for the technical issues. Partway through that, neither of us entirely know what happened, but apparently your computer just failed the computer.
I pressed the replay button on an incident and it just became possessed. My screen started flashing black and coming back to like my screens, and then all my applications started crashing, so I don't quite know what happened. But we got to sort it quite quickly, thankfully.
Indeed. We have a couple of people in the commentary in the waiting room, so if you want to drag them across, we'll have a chat.
Yeah, and we'll drag in first. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Pokemon.
Yeah, hello,
Hello. How's it going? How was that race for you?
Oh, interesting one. Crashed on lap one. Uh, I need to look into it again. What happened there exactly? And then had almost been a little bit of damage, about 11 seconds. But managed to climb my way up to P4 again. So pretty good one, I guess.
No, that's a good recovery drive. Yeah, the lap one carnage was hard to see everything that went on, but there was a few cars that were a bit sort of passengers in that incident. But no, you had a great recovery drive, and your livery is awesome. I kind of want to steal it. But yeah, no, I'm glad you had a great. Did you have a good race overall then?
Well, it could have been better, to be honest.
Mhm.
I didn't repair the damage, so I was stuck with it for the whole race. Didn't seem to be necessary, but I had, I was gradually getting slower and slower, probably because the tires were going off as well. And Mustang is still a pretty new car. I still have to hang around it. This was my first ever race with it now.
Nice. So
Long race with it.
you managed to handle it well for your first race on it.
Yeah. And Suzuka is also not one of my best tracks. I believe next week we are at the Red Bull Ring,
I
which
believe so.
is
Yeah.
which is my favorite track. So I'm hoping for a podium there.
Nice. Well, I'll be watching out for you next week and to see if you can snatch that podium.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No. Awesome. I hope you had a good time, and we will catch you next week for the Red Bull Ring.
Yes. Until next week then.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Who is next? I believe. Hello.
Sorry,
Hello.
it's a little bit strange. We did midway through a conversation, and I'm not where I was.
Yeah. Apologies for that. Just sort of dragged you in. uh, how was that race for yourself?
Not ideal, if I'm honest.
Um.
I took myself out of the context, or out of contention. Pretty much overheated the rears, and it was ticket into one-way ticket, as you say.
Yeah. What car were you driving? Sorry.
Honda.
Oh, the Honda. Yes.
Ah.
The madman in the singular Honda. That was fair play to you. You did some good driving though. We were watching some of the battles you were having.
It was pretty mediocre, if I'm honest. Thank you for the compliments. I am not intending to change the car. I will drag it to the end. To be fair, it had the pace easily for top 10. I just bottled it by overheating the tires in the first 10 minutes. The damage was unreversible, and I had to pit to change for new. It basically was all story. I wasn't prepared enough to drive in the dirty air, and it was complete driver error, to be honest. Like the Honda was really not that bad on the Suzuka, if I'm honest.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, just unfortunately it wasn't your day on the track. But plenty more rounds to go where you can make that up.
Yeah, like the good rotation of Honda definitely should be usable on the Red Bull Ring, which is next round. So I think in case of better preparation, I definitely have chance to, get some good result in the pro, because P15 in the pro class is nothing short of embarrassing. But that's racing. You also have like one drop round, so I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah, just unfortunately sometimes it's not your day on the track and things go wrong. So, but no, it's good driving out there, and we hope to see you next week.
Surely.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye bye. And who is next? George.
Stevens or Carney, I think it is the options.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Stevens.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how's it going? How was your race?
Uh, it was certainly challenging.
Yeah, it looked
I
like
had,
your car had been through the wars.
well, at the start of the race, my car basically had a quote unquote electrical fault where my sim hub decided to completely break.
Oh no.
So I had to slow down, which is why I ended up starting from the pit
Yes.
and
I
managed
know.
to get it all reset. Got my audio back because that also died at the same time. And
Oh,
had to fight my way all the way up to P15, which I'm very pleased with.
yeah, you had a very good fight back. When we saw you at the start and we weren't sure, it happened to me in LFM where I blew the Porsche engine in the formation lap somehow, and I thought the
Yeah.
same would happen to you.
No, no, it
Unfortunately,
wasn't engine. It was quote unquote in-game electrical fault.
interesting. That's a first.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, you had a good time. Great recovery drive as well. With some really good battles you had on track too. So, yeah, are you excited for the Red Bull Ring next week?
I won't be here next week because
Ah,
I'll be on nights at work,
Ah,
so you'll
yeah.
see me the following round.
No worries.
fair enough.
Yeah, we'll be looking out for you
Fair
in
enough. Well,
round 3.
if you get
Yeah.
5, you're welcome to jump into the stream and have a cheeky 5 minutes and see what happens. See what's going on.
The Porsche was definitely uh, it was definitely difficult with zero practice, literally coming straight back from work into the sim.
Ooh, ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
yeah, it's a tall order driving the Porsche with no practice.
Yeah. Yeah, after my pit stop, I switched it into traction control 4 and it just seemed to just click.
Yeah,
It's
no,
always a good thing.
you definitely had a lot of pace at the end there. Fighting a few cars. It was really nice to watch.
Yeah, I just really wish I had like another 10 minutes to catch P14 because I was getting there. But yeah,
I was gonna say you
I had
chewed
good
through
fun.
the gaps that were in front of you like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, excellent race. I'm sure we'll see you for round 3, because you're missing the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, have a good evening, and it was good
Yep.
chatting to you,
See
sir.
you at the third round.
Yeah. See you there.
Right.
Bye bye.
Like,
And we have one more in. Let's bring him in now. Hello.
Hello.
How was that race for you?
Well, we could first of all qualifying. We could have done better, I think. I had a great lap, and then I had I was impeded by a Porsche, and then I wasn't able to replicate that lap,
Hmm.
so we had to settle for P5. Race start was okay. I mean, we made a couple like small mistakes here and there, but I think they played in our favor a little bit because we lost like 1 or 2 seconds from the leaders, and I was able to like stay away from the dirty air and save my tires.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean their pace was crazy fast, and keeping up was like I was like 3 tenths slower. They were able to preserve the tires somehow. They like following each other and stuff. Come halfway the race and decided to pit, but the leaders decided not to pit, and they pitted like at the last stage of the race, which was unfortunate because we wasn't able to see like a four-way battle.
Yeah.
Uh,
They had a ton of pace. Most of the action was happening a bit further back. But no, it sounds like you had a good race overall. P5, I believe you finished in the end.
yes, it was P5. It could have been a P4, but I got a drive-through for
Yes, I remember seeing that at the very end.
yeah,
Uh,
the famous right-hander of Suzuka, where you get 2 cuts for going off there. But
yes.
it is what it is. I mean, P1 in the Pro Am and P5 overall. I mean, I'll take that. It's not my strongest track, so pretty happy with that.
No, you did great, and I'm glad you took your time. I'm sure we'll see you next round for Red Bull Ring.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely. Nice to chat to you, man, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Apologies for that. I just sort of took over the entire
No,
thing.
that's absolutely fine. It's,
I just realised at the end I just kept rambling on. Apologies.
no, it's all good. It's all good. You're doing very, very well. So.
Yeah, no, that was very fun to watch. Minus my very big technical blunder.
It happens. It's one of these things that these games don't mimic mechanical issues. But occasionally they will. You'll just have an issue,
Yeah,
whatever that is, and that basically becomes whatever the issue is, and kind of replaces that potential mechanical issue. So, yeah, no, did really well. You've done really well on that. So very well done. Uh, and I don't think we're around for the next round because we are buried in a bunch of stuff our end. So
I'm not sure if I'm doing next round either. I'm not 100% sure. I need to check my calendar and what's actually happening. But I'll be following along with the series regardless. It'll be good to see how everything's going.
indeed, it is the Red Bull Ring, as you've heard already next week. Uh,
Which is a great track. I love the Red Bull Ring.
it is. It is interesting. It's. I'm not sure if it's a favorite track of mine, but it's a good fun track. That's for sure.
Oh, it's amazing when it comes to just it. There's not a lot of corners, but each corner require extra precision because there's so little of them. Getting them right is a lot more key. But yeah, any final words from yourself, Zeta?
No, it has been lovely seeing some fantastic racing, seeing so many people out on track. I think we had 30 something start and 20 very high 20s finish, so very well done to everybody there. And I hope you all enjoy your next installment of this one. We've got the Formula GT Racing League will be on tomorrow night. And then the next round is actually next Saturday. Is the next thing we have coming up after that. There's no rookies this week, so all of that is good.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I think that's us for the evening. So uh, we will depart for the evening and let you all go. I hope you all had a good time, and thanks for the support. Minus the massive technical issue, where I thought my PC was going to explode, but we'll ignore that. Um, it's all good. We got to sort it. But yeah, thanks for everyone for the support, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Thank you and good night.
Good night. And I think we're off. Cool. Yeah, and I muted us. I muted us as well. Muted us as well. Yeah, I'll turn it off in a minute. I'll give it like a minute. Oh my. I I I I genuinely thought my PC was gonna explode. It became like I almost thought I was gonna need to get it exercised. It was just the screens were flashing and things were crashing and everything was just all over the place. I was just like panicking. Yeah, because my Discord kept trying to reconnect, but it kept crashing my Discord. So all I heard was the blump of the connection, then it just died immediately, and then it kept trying. It was so